another episode of Drafters TV. I'm Ben Hauver, and today we're taking a look at the Tampa Bay backfield, a backfield that just got a massive dose of controversy injected into it with the signing of Leonard Fournette. If you wouldn't mind, drop a like on this video, and if you're feeling especially gracious, please subscribe to the channel. And speaking of subscribing, if you would like to be entered into a giveaway for your chance to win a free ticket into the Best Ball Championship over on Drafters, a $50K guaranteed prize pool best ball tournament, all you have to do is subscribe to this channel and drop a comment below with your thoughts on the Tampa Bay backfield. I will be selecting the winner to that on Monday's video. But before we dig into the mess that is the Bucs running back room, I need to announce the winner of last week's giveaway. So I've got the names of everybody who commented in a randomizer right here, and the winner is going to be Octuplicate? Yeah, Octuplicate, who commented on the David Johnson video, and his comment was that, he thinks that David Johnson can be an RB1. A lot of guys around his ADP have similar age concerns or also switched teams. Absolutely agree with you. I would not be shocked to see David Johnson finish as a back-end RB1 this year at all. Now let's dig into this Tampa Bay backfield. This past week has been an emotional roller coaster for Fournette truthers and Rojo fanboys alike when late Wednesday night it was announced that the recently released former Jacksonville Jaguar running back Leonard Fournette had been signed to Tampa Bay, set now to join Tom Brady as well as a slew of other running backs. Now, I did a video on this very channel only 3 weeks ago dedicated to Leonard Fournette's outlook in Jacksonville, and spoiler alert, I was not very high on him. I think a lot of people were overvaluing the receiving numbers that he would be able to put up in the year following his 76 catch 2019 campaign, and I can't say that I was really buying the positive touchdown regression narrative either. I definitely do think it's true that somebody who gets or got as much red zone work as Fournette did in Jacksonville should finish the season with more than 3 touchdowns. I personally wasn't viewing the team as one that would consistently be putting Fournette in a position to be in the red zone that often. Tampa, on the other hand, is a different story entirely. On paper, this offense is absolutely loaded. Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, OJ Howard, Rob Gronkowski, if that's your vibe, Scotty Miller, and Justin Watson. I mean, even the speculative 3rd and 4th wide receivers on this team are upside guys that you could get yourself excited about from a talent perspective. Now, I don't know if this TB to TB experiment is going to come together as smoothly as everybody is expecting it to, but even if you look at the Bucs through a cautiously optimistic lens, the outlook for this offense in 2020 blows what we should have been expecting from Jacksonville out of the water. If Fournette is able to seize control of this backfield, I think his outlook for the coming season is arguably even better than it was in Jacksonville. So the question is, how realistic is it that he can take command of the backfield? Well, Thursday, in the fallout of this signing, we were introduced to a myriad of interesting speculative points across Twitter, including indications that right now LaShawn McCoy is the favorite to be used on 3rd downs in the passing game. We also heard a quote from Bruce Arians that Ronald Jones is still the guy. Let's also not forget Keyshawn Vaughn, the Vanderbilt back that the team selected in the 3rd round of the most recent draft. While the situation is undoubtedly messy, I feel like it's actually not that difficult to decipher from a fantasy perspective. My interpretation is that this is going to be Leonard Fournette's backfield sooner rather than later. We could debate Fournette's talent, and Twitter certainly has over the past 2 days, but I really don't know what that would prove one way or the other. The bottom line is that Fournette is far and away the most upside out of any of these guys. He's a 25-year-old running back with 2 1,000-yard seasons under his belt with the potential to play a major role in the best offense he's been in thus far. He's also the only guy with even a remote possibility to become a workhorse in this Bucs backfield. Shady McCoy, age 32, is more likely to be cut than become a workhorse again in the NFL. Keyshawn Vaughn appears to be slated to spend more time contributing on special teams than offense in his rookie year, and Ronald Jones, if we're being honest, is probably just okay. This is a guy who was barely able to overtake Peyton Barber last year. I get it. Fournette still has some stink on him. Attitude problems, overwhelming hype coming out of college, followed by mediocre NFL production, at least in terms from what you would expect from a guy who was drafted with a top 5 pick in a running back class that had, Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara, James Conner, Austin Eckler, Aaron Jones, Chris Carson. I mean, Jesus, that's kind of crazy in retrospect. But if we stop dinging Fournette for the failure to live up to expectation and simply look at his current situation, I think that we have to just admit that the arrow is up on him. At least it can be. And at this point, I think he is without a doubt the Bucs running back to own in fantasy. On the graphic that you've been seeing throughout this video, you can see that his ADP is 33.3, which puts him right towards the end of round 3, and we'll have to see if that cost holds for him over this final week of drafting. If I'm being honest, I think that that price point is still a little too rich for my blood. After all, he will still need some time to familiarize himself with the scheme, and there is only a week until the season starts. He'll also need to prove himself to both Bruce Arians and Tom Brady to earn significant playing time early in the year, but I do think that both those things are possible. I wouldn't advocate drafting him ahead of guys like James Conner or Jonathan Taylor or David Johnson, but I don't see why he shouldn't be going in the same range as guys like, say, Melvin Gordon or Chris Carson, and definitely ahead of guys like Le'Veon Bell and Devin Singletary. In terms of Ronald Jones, I think we still have to see how far he is going to fall before we can determine whether or not he is still draftable. I mean, if he is going in the top 10 rounds, I would stay away, and I don't think that LaShawn McCoy or Vaughn or even Agumbawale should be drafted at all at this point. I really think that Leonard Fournette is the only guy to take, and if you can get him in that 4th, 5th round, I would absolutely be comfortable doing so. But what do you think? Am I way off here? Is Ronald Jones still going to be the guy like Arian said? Let me know in the comment section below, and don't forget to include your drafter's username and subscribe to this channel for an automatic chance to be entered into the giveaway that I detailed at the top of the video. As always, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you again soon.